Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the Managing Director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're discussing hotels and guest houses here in the kingdom. And let's get into the difference between the two real quick before I go any further. In the past, Thailand has actually had a rather cumbersome hotel sort of regulatory structure pertaining to hotels. And for this reason, there are many places that in the past called themselves essentially guest houses. They kind of occupied something of a little bit of a nebulous sphere with respect to the accommodation industry here in Thailand. And prior to the more strict enforcement of things like TM30, for example, the requirement of foreigners to register whatever address they're at here in the kingdom, as well as landlords, it was actually, a pretty laid back regulatory atmosphere with respect to so-called guest houses. That being said, as we've seen with immigration enforcement, and now more and more, I think that immigration enforcement may have a revenue department angle, which I've gotten into in another video on this channel. That being said, the hotel licensing structure seems to be in a state of transition, if you will. In a recent article from the Bangkok Post, bangkokpost.com, article titled "Small Hotels Set to Legalize Ventures," quoting directly, some 5,000 non-registered small hotels are expected to legalize their business after a recent order issued by the National Council for Peace and Order. The order, enforced under Section 44 powers, is aimed at bringing illegal hotels and accommodation service providers under better state control and improving the safety for guests. These small hotels with fewer than 50 rooms had planned to register with local authorities, but their attempts were obstructed by a 2016 ministerial regulation of the Interior Ministry. Quoting further, the regulation required operators that transform their buildings into hotels to comply with the Town and City Planning Act, as well as the Building and Control Act before seeking an operating license. While waiting for the license, they could not operate without risking a fine or punishment. The Section 44 order is considered a relief for them as they can continue doing business while waiting for a license under the Hotel Act. Quoting further, hotels must comply with all required legislation such as laws related to town planning and building control by 2021. I urge those who are watching this video to check out that article. Again, it's titled "Small Hotels Set to Legalize Ventures." It's in the bangkokpost.com. There's a great deal more content there. I want to get to one specific point of this. They have created a Section 44 order, which is basically sort of a bolt out of the blue, that allows these small hotels a certain amount of leeway. They're exempted from the need to obtain a license or else be subject to fines while they are getting in line with other aspects of the regulatory scheme here pertaining to hotels. It's kind of basically cutting the Gordian knot, if you will. They're getting rid of what essentially is a catch-22 situation wherein these small operations are saying, well, we do it, but if we do it, by starting to do it, we subject ourselves to the risk of fine. And the government has turned around and said, okay, no, we've cut that out. Now there's no reason for you not to go ahead and attempt to get into proper compliance with the relevant law. And failure to do so, presumably by 2021, could lead to some rather bad consequences. So I think what should be taken away from this video is Thailand is looking to cut some red tape. They're also looking to normalize regulations between larger operations and smaller operations. And moving forward, I think it's fairly safe to say that we're going to see a lot more true hotels per, the legal definition here in the kingdom. We're going to see a lot more of those large and small.